Today I am making some homemade chicken pot pie. I love the pot pies from KFC, but they are seasonal and they also have pork. I'm just working and exploring a little bit to find some new ways to make it at home. Now, these ingredients are very simple and you may choose to use some of them and you may choose not to, but these are just my suggestions. I have a small white potato, a can of mixed vegetables, a can of cream of mushroom, some minced onion, salt, pepper, a can of biscuits, a can of chicken breast, and some vegan butter. This is not a vegan dish. I just love to use vegan butter. But as I said, some of these things you may or may not choose to use. You can add garlic or not. You can add the salt or not. I chose not to actually add the salt because of the salt content already in the chicken, and it was perfectly seasoned as far as salt is concerned. And all I did was add some butter and some parsley and paprika and some turmeric as a topping for color. First, I am going to add some of the vegan butter to my frying pan, and I'm going to let that get nice and hot. Then I'm going to add my diced white potato so that they can brown. And next, I will be adding my can of strained chicken breast so that all of the flavors can come together and marinate. And I just like to cook the chicken first, even though I don't have to, it's already pre-cooked, but I like for all of the flavors to kind of marry together and to allow the potatoes to soften a bit as well. I decided to add a second can of chicken just because I have a hubby to feed and I want to make sure he's getting some protein in there. So I added a second can of chicken to add more substance. Now I'm going to add my seasonings. I'm going to start with some simple black pepper. Next, some minced onion. At this time, I'm going to add in my half strained can of mixed vegetables. The reason I only strained half of the liquid off of the vegetables is because I wanted to retain some of the liquid and the moisture so that the biscuits can actually bake in. The cream of mushroom soup that I am using in this particular recipe is condensed soup. So because it is condensed soup, it has room for you to add water to kind of stretch it out a bit. So I will be adding in a half a cup of water to this. Because I added 2 cans of chicken, I will be adding 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup. Now that all of the ingredients are in, I am going to let this come to a simmer. And then I am going to put the lid on this and cover it for about 5 minutes. And after that, it is going to be ready to go. All of our pie filling is now married together and seasoned well and ready to go. I am going to now plate everything inside of my baking dish. Once it's in the baking dish, I'm just going to get everything evenly distributed. And like I said, as far as the seasoning, I did not use the salt because it wasn't needed. There's more than enough inside of the canned chicken that I actually used. Now I am going to place my biscuits on the top. My videos aren't perfect by any means, and some of the time I'm figuring it out as I go. And as you can see, I was kind of thinking maybe I should split these biscuits in half because you know they have a tendency to rise a lot. And I didn't know if I wanted them to have more like a cake flaky type texture or a crispy type topping. But what I did decide to do was just put the biscuits in whole. And I think the next time I would probably split the biscuits in half because they did raise a lot and they actually soaked up a whole lot of the liquid inside of the filling. So I did use all 8 of the biscuits in this particular dish. And this is what it looked like once I actually had it all placed out inside of my pan. And as I said, I just added some turmeric on the top for color and decor. And I'm also going to add some parsley as well for some color and decor. I placed these in the oven for 30 minutes on 360, and this is what they look like pretty much once they were done. Now, as I said, nothing I put on here is perfect. Some of my videos are pretty janky, and so I don't mind admitting my trials and my errors so that you can learn from them. So as far as this is concerned, what I would probably do, like I said, is split the biscuits in half so that they don't fluff as much. I could probably stand to bake it a little less, so probably 18 minutes or so. I didn't leave it in the whole 30 minutes, but these biscuits didn't take long and they don't take long, and the filling is pretty much almost done. So I think 18 minutes would be a good, comfortable spot to bake these at. So if you have a chicken pot pie recipe that's easy peasy like this one, I like to hear it. I love to hear easy recipes, especially for busy working moms or stay-at-home moms, or just from people in general, that are tasty and that are healthy and that are filling. And I want to thank you all for watching, and you all be blessed.